Okay. Can you hear me now? I gotta get down. Can you hear me now? That I added the yes? Okay. Ooh. Technology is not my friend at all. All right, hold on. Let me try to adjust this thing so maybe it'll stay in focus. Okay, as you may notice, we still have my wonderful phone sitting here because this camera over here, I still cannot get to work. However, we have made some we have made some progress as now I do have a front-facing camera. Is it precariously balanced on two different boxes so that it's the level that it needs to be so that you can see my face? Yes, yes, it is. And in fact, if I tip this up, you'll be able to see them. See the bottom of my little box there that my camera's sitting on? Oh Lord. It's it's ghetto around here, but that's all right. We're getting stuff done. Um, so anyway, um, I still do have to use my phone because I can't get this camera to work. But I think at least we figured out the audio portion of it. And then hopefully, next week we'll actually be together. I mean, we'll be here together regardless, even if we have to do this kind of janky setup again. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I love being able to hang out with you guys and visit and chat. Um, for those of you I did see before, um, you guys were asking about how my mom is, and I very much appreciate that. She is still in the hospital. Her numbers are coming up. Um, Not as high as they need to be, but at least they're not dropping, which is what they were doing before. So they are doing 2 platelet infusions today. And then if that goes well and they're able to get her numbers up, they are going to put in a filter. Um, what is it called? An IVC? IVF? They're going to put a filter in her neck to keep the blood clot in her leg from going to her lungs. So that's what they're going to do. Um, so after I am done here, I am going to go in and see her. Uh, it's just she's at a new hospital now, so she's just a little bit further away. But I do appreciate all your warm thoughts and your prayers. We need them, so I appreciate them. All right. Okay, let's recap what we did last week. I also learned after last week, hmm, this camera doesn't like me moving around, and I talk with my hands because I am very fuzzy, 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 fuzzy. Will you autofocus? Will you fix yourself? There you are for now. Um, I'm trying. There's somebody posted. There it is. Oh, see, okay. And I'm sorry, hockey, that happened to your mother. That had to have been absolutely terrifying. They have taken my mom off of her um blood thinners due to some other things because like her platelets and stuff are so low, they're worried about a bleeding risk. So that's part of the reason I think why she has the clot. So but that sounds terrifying. I'm very sorry that that happened. Um, she's had ultrasounded 3 times to make sure it hadn't moved. So hopefully they haven't misdiagnosed the blood clot. Okay. We are going to recap. Is this straight? I think it is straight. Okay. We're going to recap what we did last week very quickly, and then we're going to move on to making the rest of the card. I did notice in watching the video back, I didn't watch the whole thing because I don't want to listen to myself talk for that long. Um, I have heard from Dawn. That's another, the hits just keep on coming, man. So for those of you who are in Dawn's W plus 9 Facebook group, She did share there that she has been diagnosed with rectal cancer. She's starting chemo. She started yesterday. She was very tired yesterday. She also did her first round of radiation yesterday. And so she did share that in her group. When I talked to her yesterday, she was just very, very tired and she wasn't sure if it was just from a combination of all of the things. But they are very, very hopeful that she will be able to go through the chemo, the radiation, and then that's to shrink the tumor and then do surgery. And then once she's healed from the surgery, they're hoping that they will be able to reverse her ileostomy, which she had done 2 weeks ago. Um, so yeah, so my mom's in the hospital. My best friend has cancer, but that has nothing. I'm happy that I can be there to support both of them. Um, because they're both wonderful people. So yes, if you could include Dawn in your prayers, I know that she would appreciate them, and I do as well. Okay, so when I watched back the video, I noticed that it was kind of a little bit hard to see with the split screen. So I do intend on just putting up this screen when we're doing kind of the up close coloring. You guys tell me what you think about that. I know that it's nice to like when we're, chit chatting like this to be able to see my face, but I feel like when we're coloring, it's going to be better for you guys if you can see this. Um, so yeah, so let me know what you think. Well, while I'm waiting for you to let me know what you think, I'm going to put on some lotion because I need it. Hi, Wendy. Wendy's joined. Wendy's part of the design team. She's wonderful. She's also one of my good friends. Um, okay. Thank you, Kim. You guys are all okay just seeing my hands. I appreciate that. All right. My because I have been at the hospital seeing my mom, um, my hands are so dry. And even when I was refinishing furniture, like when my husband and I were refinishing furniture, like I would be sanding stuff all day and my hands would be so dry. But they never got so dry that they actually cracked. Uh right now, for the first time ever in my life, my thumb is. Did it fix it? No, I'm just gonna be fuzzy in the background. That's fine. Um So anyway, so I tried last night before I went to bed. I put the working hands on and then I slept with it on, and that usually fixes it. It's still cracked. Anyway, okay. All right. So here's our little birdies. Okay, we did our little birdies. These are from the Lovely Layers Spring Birds. And so we colored this one a little bit different because I wanted him to be a little blue jay like his buddy here. And so we did do a little bit different here, but I think it's okay. I think it's working all right. And then we also ink blended our background last week. So this was just a little bit of Salty Ocean with um, the largest, I can't find it right now, the largest honeybee blender brush, like the big background one. So we did those last time. And so this is going to be today, we're going to color some greenery and some flowers. Now, these are both from the Spring Greenery set. I'm going to scoop out my flowers here. Where is my pokey tool? Pokey tool, pokey tool. There it is. I'm a little out of sorts because Lisa, I love Lisa. Lisa, I have a monitor. I needed a monitor in front of me so that I would have a camera. This is driving me crazy, so I can't even imagine how you guys feel about it. There we go. Um, anyway, she is from Texas and she sent me a monitor the size of Texas. And so we didn't have time to get it mounted. So it's just sitting on my desktop, and it is enormous. But because of it needed to sit on my desktop just for today's live, I had to move my items that normally sit right here, and they now they're over here. I don't you can probably can you see the disaster that is my room? Look at all you can see the box right there for the monitor. Because I just threw it on the floor. I just pitched it because I didn't have the time. Okay. So these are separate by themselves. These ones, this is one of my favorite leaves in that set. Leaves, leaves, leaves. This is actually what I look like when I do my voiceovers and you hear me repeating things. That's I look that quizzical, like I don't understand what's happening. Um, so anyway, here, these are just by themselves. And these have a layer, like our more traditional lovely layers. So these do have a layer of flowers that go on top. Tell you a secret. Sometimes when I'm feeling very lazy about die cutting, sometimes I just color them on here, and then I use these to tuck in other places that I want there to be flowers, but I didn't want to have to die cut another one. So, oh, Vicky, your fourth grandson's due. That's exciting. Okay, so now I'm gonna move us. Where's my mouse? I'm all out of sorts. I'm gonna move us so just my hands will be on the screen. If I can, I have to use my leg. All right, so can you still hear me? I have to double check that. Can you still hear me? Yes. Okay, good, good. Thank you so much for answering me. I do appreciate that. Okay, so I think last time we talked about what? Purple? Is that what we talked about? We talked about doing some purple flowers. Okay. Is that how we're still feeling? Purple? Okay. So let me pull these out. And just so you know, if you missed the first one, in this description, I did link the first one. So if you wanted to see the birds come together, and then I also linked all of the products that we're using in there. Okay, so this is my usual purple combination, my kind of go-to. I'll hold them up here. So it's not, this one's pretty light, but it does bleach this one out pretty nicely so that they blend in together really well, even though there's kind of a gap in between them. And the VO9 is very dark, but don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of the dark. The dark is where we get the contrast. So I think that we're going to go with this. If you are a person who does not have a lot of markers, or maybe you're using something besides Copics, I can show you another trick too, for how you can get, because these are, what are they, guys? Why can't I think of them? The lace, the lace, Queen Anne's lace. And so traditionally they're white, but we're gonna make them into our own flowers because it's our card and we do what we want. And then for the greens, we are going to use some yellow greens. And I will show you these as well. Hi, Tracy. So they're one, it's the 1, 3, 17, and 67. They're all YGs. Okay, so I'm going to do the greens first, and then we'll come back to the um, the other ones. All right, so just like we talked about before, we can put in our shadows with our lightest color if we're scared of our dark. I will try to remember to do this, guys. I will try. Okay, so if we're scared of our dark, we can go in with our lightest color and look and see where the embossing is, because that's the really nice thing about the lovely layers. It gives you some embossing to follow along with. So you can start with your lightest color if you are frightened. I was frightened for years, and this is how I was comfortable coloring, so that's what I did. Now here, you're I've never even heard of Bic intensity markers. I'll have to look those up. Yeah, you can use whatever coloring medium you like. I'm just going with alcohol markers. So here we have two friends. Okay, they're together. So they both can't be up front. One has to be behind the other. That's just the way that they work. So you get to choose. Which one should we put on top? And we'll do it two different ways so you can see. This time around, I'm going to put the big one on top. So if I want the big one to be on top, I have to add the shading on top of the little one. Okay. And then that's going to bring that whole, I wanted to say petal, whole leaf forward. And then this will be whole and this will be tucked behind. Okay. So now I'm going to switch to my darkest color. You can find them at box stores. I don't even have any box stores around anymore. Everything's closing down so quickly. Okay. So now I want my stem, and my stem is going to be my darkest color. And I'm just going to follow those guidelines that I've already given myself, which were the guidelines that Honeybee already gave me because they're embossed onto the paper. So just going to follow those. And I'm not going quite all the way out to the tip of the leaf, but I'm getting pretty close. And then if you feel like it's a little uneven, you can add one, wherever you want. It's your thing. Okay. Oh, the Ohuhu markers. I have not tried those yet. I need to do that because I think they are getting more popular. Okay, so now remember this one's going to be on top, so we want to add the shadows to this leaf back here. And then I am still going to add my darkest color into the shadows of that one and then onto the stem. Okay, now we will move on to the next color. When using markers, just pressure, Naomi, pressure matters so much. It it is the difference between um I'll just do it on here. Okay, so here is when I'm using very light pressure. You can see how thin my line is, but let me go over here, if I push, see how thick that line is. That's a lot of times why people have such a hard time adding the darker color, because they're using too much pressure, and then it's bleeding like crazy, and then they have no control over the image that they're coloring. This is my dark mid-tone, so we are just going right over top of what we've already put down and then extending it out. This one, remember, is tucked behind, so we want to add the shadows there, and then just the same thing. We're going to go right over those lines. Okay. Oh, good. I'm so glad that that those help. I know I really need to go in and update like the photos and the links and stuff. I just haven't had time to do it, but the color combinations are still there. Okay. So now we're on to our light mid-tone, and we're just doing the same thing. Right over top of what we got, extending it out. And this is going to fill the majority of it. See how we have just very little white space left? And that's what we are going to fill with our highlight color. Okay, this one's behind. This edge right here, where it comes right next to it, I'm gonna leave an area there for my highlight color because that's what's gonna help push that leaf forward and again, make it look like it is on top and that they are two separate leaves. Ooh, my nose is itchy. Do I always use 4 colors? A lot of times I use 4 colors, but not always. Depends on how much real estate's there. Hi, Betsy. I was supposed to be meeting Betsy in person well, honestly, today. I was supposed to be meeting Betsy in person today. But obviously I'm not traveling anywhere with what's going on with my mom. So, all right. So now you can see how we have two separate leaves there. So now for this one, we're going to flip flop them. So I'm going to do this one a little bit faster, just, because obviously I know you guys have time. I'll slow down when I get to that part. So yeah, my wonderful friend Christina was very kind because if you guys follow my channel, you know that I have travel anxiety really, really, really a lot. And so she had offered to fly into Cleveland and then drive me down. Um, okay, so this is where we're gonna flip flop. So before we put this one on top, now we're going to put the little one on top. And in order to do that, we're going to add the shadow then to this larger one. So we're just going to follow a general leaf shape there and then add some more shadow and then just add our little bit of dark down the middle like so. Like so. Um, I'm about 2 hours away from the Amish. Actually, my husband and I, for what year was it? Wasn't our first year because I was enormously pregnant with Caitlin. Um, our 2-year anniversary, I think we went to Amish country because we wanted to go somewhere, but we didn't want to be so far away that if there was something happened, we couldn't come back home. And it was great. We walked around and saw the shops. We got married in September, so it's always kind of like hit or miss on the weather, but we had really good weather. Um, so yeah, the Amish is I actually have a friend who lives out that way and she owns a farm. Um, she's got all the moo and chickens and all kinds of stuff. Hi, Brandon. Okay, so now we're on to this third one. And mind you, I have no idea how this card is going to come together. Just so we're aware, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're out here giving it our best shot. Okay. Excuse me. Nope, gonna need a sip. I did put cough drops in my pocket in case this happened. I was prepared. Sorry. Okay. All right, I think we're okay. All right, so now we're on to our last color, and we're just going to fill in any of that white area. And remember, we left a little area here to make sure that that was going to be the lightest color so that it really sticks out. So now we have both of them where this one has the larger leaf on top and this one has the smaller leaf on top. Mine is definitely my allergies. I am sure of it. 2 days ago, my nose would not stop running. So these are the two different ways that you can color basically this one leaf. There's no layers for this one. So I'm just going to quickly color up that one and then we will move on to the flowers. I got the wrong color, guys. I need the darker one. There we go. Okay. Fill that in. So yeah, Amish country is beautiful. And there's lots of little shops and stuff like that. So big fan. Your cat's watching me color? Oh, I can't, I never know her real name, but there is a lady, she's watched me for a really long time, and her dog's name is Silky, and she always says that every time Silky hears my voice, that, they curl up on the couch together and watch my videos, which I think is fantastic. Okay. The cough drop is helping, I think. Amish folks in Nebraska? I've never heard that, but I've lived in Ohio my whole life. So, I mean, really, because they're so that like we're just very heavily populated with Amish communities. It's never been like weird or strange to me. In fact, one of the one of the field trips that we go on in elementary school is literally going to Amish country and meeting them and see how, they make their own thread and they make their own butter and all of those things. Um, so yeah, yeah, that was um one of my field trips as a kid was to Amish country. Okay, so here's our three leaves. They're good. And we're going to move on to the flowers. But first, I don't know if you can see this. Um, they're like from me coloring on here, the green is on my glass mat. And if I don't clean this up first, I will pick up that green with like my lightest purple and I will deposit it onto my paper. So you have to make sure that if you're working on a non-porous surface, um, that you clean in between colors. Oh, good night, Wendy. Yeah, that's middle of the night, girl. Go to bed. Get some sleeps. Okay. So we're just going to clean that up. I just use a little bit of alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol, to clean it up because I'm cheap and I don't want to waste my colorless blender. All right. So now we're going to do the purple combination first, and then we will do the little cheat if we don't have a lot of colors. Okay. So I'm going to start with my darkest color, which is this B09. And earlier, I think Naomi was the one who was asking about pressure. So we want to be very light-handed. We don't want to be crazy with the amount of pressure that we're using because we're going to be doing a series of dots. These are supposed to look lacy, so we don't want completely solid color. So we're going to go in, we're going to do dots. Just like that. We're basically going to give the flowers the measles. And we're going to do it for all of them. Some dots are bigger, some dots are smaller. There's no wrong way to do the dots. Okay. So, once upon a time, in a place long, long ago, I was a beginner card maker, and I was watching Kathy Rakusin. Does Kathy even make stuff anymore? I don't know because she became a grandma and then she was watching all her babies. Do I keep my markers extra refilled? No, girl, I'm terrible about it. I am awful about refilling my stuff. The greens only worked because I refilled them the other night. I also got it on my pants. Um, yes, it is stippling. And they teach it to you in art class, and that's how you can add shading. So anyway, Kathy, who is crazy talented colorist, um, we're going to go in with our dark mid-tone and we're going to do the same thing. She shared some watercoloring with. Oh, Betsy, she did. Yeah, she's great. She's so talented. But I know that she was busy being a grandma. So we're just gonna go again right over top of them. You can go over the dark ones. It's not gonna matter. We're just gonna pop in some dots. And anyway, she used to she used to do like the stippling with her white gel pen to add, detail and texture and stuff like that into her cards, and it was fantastic, but it's so time consuming. Um, you know what? I don't know because it's streaming on Honeybee's YouTube and my YouTube channel. So if you're on one and not the other, I don't know if you guys can see each other's um chats. I'm not sure how that works. Uh so anyway, um she I was like, "Oh, like that looks so cool, this white gel pen." So I decided that I was going to do a like tone on tone die cut and and I was gonna do all the dots in the background, but then the die cut that was like popped up, I wasn't gonna put any dots on. Y'all, I swear to you, I was dotting for like 10 hours. It felt like it. It was really cool at the end, but I was like, yeah, that's too much for this girl. Just a couple of dots for me, not all the dots. When is the new Honeybee release? I do know this. I don't know it offhand, but it is on my phone. I'll put it in the description. It should be soon. It should be soon. All right, so now this is our light mid-tone, and we're doing the same thing. Dots, dots, dots. Betsy, April 30th. Betsy for the win. Thank you, Betsy. Okay. All righty. So you can see we're starting to get less white space here as we're filling them in with the different colors. And the reason that we do all the different colors is for dimension, but it's also because alcohol markers are transparent. And so lighter colors will lift darker colors. So even though we're using 4 colors, it's going to look like maybe we have 6 or 8. Okay, last one. And you can leave some white in there as well. That's totally fine. You don't have to make sure every inch is covered. And then on the next one, we will So here we have all this, I have a standing work meeting at this time. Oh, Brandon, I'm sorry. We looked at the algorithm to see when it seemed to be the best time, and that's how we picked one. Um, so here, which I'm so, you know what, Brandon, you totally reminded me to talk about the Mondays. So we will come back to that as soon as I explain this part. Um, so now that we have that done, we can go back in with those greens and see they're all kind of meeting here. So where they're tucked underneath, we're going to have darker color, right? So these stems are all going to be dark. This one I'm just going to flick down a little. Same thing here. Like where it's meeting the little flowers, I'm going to flick them down. So they're tucked up underneath there. Oh, missed one. Okay. And then here where they're all meeting, I'm going to go to the left-hand side because it just makes it easier. Just pick a side, whatever side you're happy with. And I'm going to take the marker kind of down the side of it. So it's just picking it up on the edges. And then I'm going to make little scoops into the center. And this is going to help so that it looks a little bit more dimensional. And then here, I'm going to add a little bit of shading down the stem as well. This one, because they're such smaller, it just doesn't have as much room. That's how we're saying that. It just doesn't have as much room. So then I'm going to do the same thing with this mid-tone. And that's really going to start to fill in some of that area. And then again, we're going to extend this out. And actually, I think I'm just going to just do it all that way. And then I will go in with my light mid-tone and just go right over top of these. Okay, so there's our first flower done. So see, we'll tuck in some little leaves in here, and they'll be so cute with our little birds. Okay, so now let's talk about the cheater's way if you don't have a lot of purples. Because, class, what do we know from the color wheel? We know that red and blue make purple. I prefer purple that is a little bit on the pinker side. So I'm going to swap my red for a pink, but you could use a red if you wanted like a cooler purple. I want a little bit, I want a pinky purple. So did I use this for something recently? Maybe I did. Okay. Oh yeah, I did. 6, and where's the 9? If I was up, there we go. Okay. Oh, I got hair. Okay. So I'm going to pull out these, and then I'm going to get the same blues that we use to make our birds so that they still work really nicely together. Where did I put the 4? You ever clean up your desk and then you can't find what you're looking for and you have regrets about cleaning it? You're like, I should have just left it a disaster. It would have been easier for me to find what I'm looking for. Okay, there it is. 4, 8, 0, 0. And where's the O2? If I was a marker, did I put it back in here? All right, we're gonna make do. Okay, it's already in my hand, guys. Look at this. It was already in my hand. What is the matter with me? Okay. All right. Wouldn't be able to handle not having everything in its place. Lisa, you cannot come to my house into my craft room. You could stay downstairs in my house, but you cannot come into my craft room or you might lose your mind. All right, so I've just picked out a couple of different blues and pinks, but they're all kind of around the same value. Oh, I have a 02 as well for the pinks. I don't know where it is though. We're going to go with 00. So basically, they have, they all have that 0 as that first number, which is going to tell us they're all going to be really bright. And so that's going to work nicely for what we're looking for. So if you don't have a purple, you can use some blues and some pinks. So I'm going to start with blue. And we're just going to do the same thing with all the dots. Oh, I just say the craft room. The craft room is never clean. I can stay on top of it for a little while, but then inevitably something happens and it does not take much for it to get crazy out of control, which is honestly part of the reason why it's so difficult to get the stuff set up for my live is because I really need to clean off my desk. But between making, because I thought that I was going to be going to the event, and then my mom going into the hospital, and then basically we were here. We um okay. So that was the BO4. Now I'm going to do a BO2. Um so yeah, it's just been a little crazy and the boxes still keep coming. So they just get set in here and built up. And my helper, I just need to fly out there and organize. Yes, Wendy, come here. You girl. I don't even know if you'd be able to take it though. It's so bad. It's so bad. But anyway, I need to clean off my desk so that I can really get everything kind of set up where it belongs. And then, because once it's in its spot, it'll be good. It's just getting it to its spot. Why is my nose so itchy today? Okay. And now B00. I do tend to be more generous with my lighter colors. Probably because I know it's not really going to cover up anything that I've already done. So I do tend to put down a little bit more pressure or be a little bit freer with my dots with the lighter colors. I bought a small floral die set. Girl, you ain't the only one who's ever lost a die. Don't you feel bad about that. Just means you're a crafter like the rest of us. I got a plate. I have a plate that just has dies um, that I don't know where they go. I don't know what they go to, but they're there. Okay, so now we're going to go in with pinks. And I'm going to try to keep it pretty much with the same thing. Okay. So do the pinks. Yeah, it is. It's a stray. Yes, it's a holding plate for strays. Like when I actually clean it. and am able to locate things. Brandon. Sometimes you just want to look back at it and be like, you were clean once. For those of you who cannot see his comment, it said I have a pretty picture of my craft room on my Instagram that I sometimes look at just to feel better about the mess. That's what I was laughing at. I know not all of you could see it, but it is funny. Okay. So right now, it is not looking like it is purple, but we are not done yet. Trust the process. Because sometimes when you don't have the exact tool that you need or want, and you're having to make do, sometimes it can be, that's the wrong side, Kelly. Um, Sometimes it can take a little bit longer, but when you're on a crafty budget, like I am, and I was really for a long time, um, quite a bit on a crafty budget. Uh, oh, thank you, Lucinda. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, Mimi. They make them look like hydrangeas. Yeah, that's what we're what do they call them? Lace cap hydrangeas. That's what I'm going for. That's why we picked the purpley in the first place. Okay, so now that's the blue and the pink. And so you can see that there is there's a considerable difference between the two, because when we're doing it, yeah, Wendy, you are not kidding. $25 a paycheck, $50 a month. That was my crafty budget. It was a sad time. Now, in order to make this work, we are going to go back over it with the blues. So that's how we're going to make this really look more purpley, is by layering the colors. And since we're doing dots, oh, that was not at the Critter Cottage. That was in my first marriage, Wendy. At the Critter Cottage, I was in charge of my own bills. I was poor, but at least I could spend money on what I wanted to. Um, but anyway, so here you can see as we're adding the blue, we are starting to get more purpley. This purple, I'm not gonna lie, is a little bit brighter than the other purple that the other purple combination that we chose, just because I don't want to say the other one is more desaturated. That's because that's not really accurate. It's not more gray. It's just not as bright as this one is. And so just like I tell you guys with distress inks, whatever color you leave on top is going to be the color that you see most predominantly. So, like, if you want it to be more of a blue purple, then you would leave the blue on top. If you want it to be more of a pink purple, you would leave the pink on top. Um, so I am, like you can see, they are, oh, Carol, that's a good idea. So you can see that they are different, but very similar-ish looking. So if you don't have these four, you could definitely make it work with this. So now, I am going to make this one look more like this, so that way our card isn't, you know, two different things. It's not going to look exactly like that because we have the darker or the brighter colors in the background, but that's okay. We're just gonna make it work. Oh, I forgot that we were talking about the premieres, and then, um, so I know me taking over from Kelly is different because now we're getting together during the day, and I know several of you prefer to get together at night. And I'm gonna be very honest with you, I would prefer to get together at night because I am a night person. I worked night shift for almost 20 years. And, that is definitely my preferred time of day. But I decided to have children, and so my life is not my own. And that means that at that particular time of night, which I think she was 7 PM. Hi, Anne, welcome to the show. Um, 7 PM Central is 8 PM, Eastern, which is what I'm in, and, 8 PM Eastern is prime bath and bedtime. So that is not something that I can reasonably do. So, since we know that you guys were definitely going to be missing that time, and you wanted to be able to get together and chit chat with each other, um, we are going to, since I'm still going to be doing my regular videos for Honeybee anyway, Monday nights we're going to do a premiere. And so that way we can all get together and still chit chat, for that same kind of round about a half an hour. Um, and so we're a little bit closer. This one's still a little bit more on the blue side. So in order to make these look a little more similar, I'm going to add some blue to this one. Um, because this is what I do, and I am not, I'm not recutting it. Because that is not a good time for this girl. So, anywho, so on Monday nights, be on the lookout for those premieres. Um, and then that way we can still all get together and chit chat because I could certainly sit, when I'm doing bedtime, I can certainly sit down and chit chat on my phone while I'm waiting for my dear sweet daughter to fall asleep because I still sit in there until she falls asleep. I still do. Um, which I know not everybody is a fan of that, but that's just what we do. She'll be older someday, and I won't have the opportunity. Okay. So now these are getting a little bit similar. This part that's missing over here is the white space, but this coming Monday, I will have a premiere up. Yes. Um, oh, thanks for coming, Erica. Have a nice day. Hi, Diane. So, I'm gonna add that back in with a white gel pen, but we'll do that in a little bit. So I'm gonna do the greens here. I thought we were gonna be able to get this card put together today, but we're coming up on almost an hour, so we might have to push it back until tomorrow, or till tomorrow, until next week. But that reminds me of a question that we need to take a survey for. So would you guys prefer the premiere be a continuation of what we're doing live? Like, do you want me to finish up this card in the premiere? Or would you prefer that it was just a whole separate project that was finished and completed in that amount of time with the premiere? And then when we do the lives, we'll stick with, kind of creating what we've been working on. Thoughts? Okay. I kind of thought maybe it would be better to do separate projects just so that way, if you're a person who is invested in, like, so this one, we've been working on for 2 different lives now. Oh, good. It looks like all of you guys are thinking Hi, Beth Ann. Um, Separate too. Yeah, I think that would be a better plan. So then that way, when you're showing up for this one and you're already invested in how this piece is going to come out, um, you're not like, well, what did I miss? How did she finish it? What happened to it? Okay. So now these are a little bit more similar. Like I said, we'll fix that white part. So let's see kind of layout wise what we're thinking. Okay. So I know this little guy has feet. He needs to be seated on something. So here, and then we're going to bring this guy. He's going to be flying. And we also want to fill up some space behind him. So we're balanced. This, I think we're going to have to back up. Okay, so now he's flying that way. Balance, balance. And now do we want to just lay them on top of each other? So it appears, nope, don't like that. Oh, well, Carol, here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. I don't actually part with them because I never mail anything. So they're just, they're in bins behind me. So nobody's enjoying them. It would probably be better if I did mail them, honestly, because then at least somebody would be enjoying them. But for me, it's not about the giving. For me, it's about the creating. So honestly, after I make them, I don't really care what happens to them. Um, all right, so maybe that back you up here so you're a little fuller. Um, so actually, while I was in the hospital with my mom, she got a card, and it was from like their volunteer. You should mail the cards as prizes after they're done. I would love to do that, but I'm not going to mail anything. You'll have to talk to Eric. We'll give it to him and see if he'll mail them. If he will mail them, then yes, I would love to draw them. Um, okay, so I'm thinking our where are we gonna put our sentiment? All right, hold on. Let me find it. That's not the one we decided to go with. We decided to go with what? Blessings of Spring, I think. Yeah. Yep, yep. Okay, so let me grab that. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you. Buy me a coffee. Thank you very much. Okay, so I didn't need to take the back off of this at all. Ah, Lord. All right, so let's see. The time of singing birds has come. May your day bloom with happiness. Um, Spring blooms with a little dirt and a little rain. I think that I think I like the one about the birds. What do you guys think? The time of singing birds has come. And then on the inside, we could put happy spring. Oh, so that's what I was telling you. My mom got a card, um, uh, at the hospital. And on the back, it was like provided by volunteer services. And I was like, oh my gosh, can I donate my cards to these people to get them out of my house and also make people happy? So I have to look into that because I think it would be super good for me and also my husband because he thinks I hoard everything. Hi, Lisa. You remembered that we were on today? Good job. I'm proud of you. Okay. I think I like these. I think I like it with the leaves on top and the flowers kind of like poking out, because this seems a little sturdier for him to be seated on, but I want it to be longer. The retirement homes around me will not take them. I did try that. Okay. Maybe 2, maybe 2 leaves here and some flowers in between. Let's spread this out. And then this, and then this. We're layering it. Oh, that does look more even. I do like that. But now I think, are we fuzzy? Are we fuzzy? There, that's better. Okay. So I do think we need to color up some of these to be like some fillers, but I think that will be good. All right, so let's finish. What do we do? What do we do, guys? We only have so much time. What do we do? Do we keep going and finish it? We're at an hour. You tell me. There's a hair on my desk. I apologize. That is the hair is never more disgusting than the moment it leaves your head. And then it's like the most vile thing ever. I never want to touch. But that's just me. Okay, keep going. Keep going. I like that. All right, let's do this real quick. Diane, you're finish it. Oh my gosh. That freaking cracks me up because it reminds me of Mortal Kombat. Anybody else have kids in the 90s that played video games? Anybody? Okay. All right. So we're just gonna keep we're just gonna do it. Okay. I don't know how many of these we're gonna need. So I'm just going to tuck them in as we go. So that way I'm not keeping you um hostage. I'm not holding you hostage. Bum, 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 bum. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then there's another one that is a larger cluster. I'm going to do that one too. I'm going to do the 2 larger clusters. And then I think we could just tuck these where we want them to go. All right. So now let's brainstorm for the sentiment while we're working on this. Do we, maybe we do a die cut piece and um just stamp in black and then ink blend it to match the sky. We could white heat emboss on a piece of blue. We could do black on white. What do we think? Oh, I loved Soul Calibur 2. Oh, Lisa, that was such a good game. My son plays video games now. And uh oh, thank you, Mary. That's a high compliment. Um, because sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what's happening. Um, I think the multitasking is just something that has been refined from all those years of dispatching. So, but I also think it's one of the reasons why I had such a hard time adjusting to dispatching for a regional center, because I was used to being the only dispatcher And so, if it got done, it was because I did it. And then at a regional center, they want you to let other people help you. And I'm like, I struggle. I struggle with that. Thank you, Wendy. She sent me a little something for ice cream for jelly bean and peanut butter. Those were my kids. Nathan was called Peanut when I was pregnant with him. And then that stuck. And then I started calling Caitlin. I couldn't call her Peanut when I was pregnant with her, so I started calling her my little jelly bean. So we got peanut butter jelly bean. Okay. I did not play. Okay, so I could not for the life of me figure out the two because I'm a kid of the 90s. So I didn't have dual sticks. My son and my husband are both very good with the dual stick operations in video games, but your girl is not. So it is a struggle for me. But also my favorite game of all time is Zelda, and I still would play it. If I didn't have responsibilities, that's where I would be. I would just be downstairs playing Zelda all the time. Okay. So, the blue, that's what we need. I was like, "We're missing something. What is it?" It's the blue. Alright. Have we had any thoughts on this, sentiment on what we're doing here? I feel like this is not the darker it's not. I need the 4. Okay, try again. Oh, I bought Animal Crossing for my kids, but they don't play it, and I don't have time to play it. I wish I could. Yes, Zelda was fun and frustrating at the same time. I agree because you have to figure out all the puzzles. And now, like, kids just go on the internet and look to see what the answer is. Back then, you had to keep trying and die and try and die 6,000 times before you figured out what the answer was. But then when you finally figured out what the answer was, there was actual sweet victory. Okay, let's see if this will be enough. Okay, so I think I'm gonna pull this down a little so the leaves fill that up. Okay, and then we will tuck some flowers in. Oh, hi, Cynthia. Yeah, Animal Crossing, I have heard really good things about, and my goddaughter plays, and I want to play it, but I have no time. Further out? No, it needs something over here back behind this bird. Tush. Back behind this. My daughter calls them a booty butt. Back behind this bird booty butt. It needs some flowers. Okay, there's that. Okay, and then there maybe? Just a little, just a little something to break up that greenery. Yeah, I think that's good. What do you guys think? Maybe I could put this one instead of, well, maybe I'll put it on top instead of on bottom. I think it's good. It's got a nice diagonal balance there. And then we'll do the sentiment, right? I think I'm just going to stamp it in black right on the card. And then we'll put in some rhinestones. Okay. I think that'll be good. Okay. So now let me get my tweezers. Now we have to begin the gluing, which is always where things can go horribly awry. Oh, I'm glue, but I got it. Don't worry. Okay. I'm pretty proud of us that we're going to finish this and we're going to do it into oh yeah. Press and seal is infuriating for me. Dawn does the hinge method, which does work fairly well. I'm going to move these birds because I want to pop the birds up, I think. So I'm just going to concentrate on gluing these bits. Oh, Lord have mercy. Um, I love the press and seal, but then I do get very frustrated when it doesn't work the way that I want it to. Come on, little guy. I can't pick you up with my finger because I have dark nail polish on. Oh, I loved Crash Bandicoot. I did play that. I did play that. I liked that one better than Sonic, actually. Yeah, I was definitely a video game kid. Put this back here, and then we had it just a little tucked under, didn't we? So I just got to get it. Okay, don't be that way. Why you got to be like that? There we go. Finally, got it. Okay, so now I'm gonna glue this to this. Bum, 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 bum. I remember when I said I would never use tweezers. Like they're so unnecessary. And now I can make nothing without them. I feel like that's too close. I feel like this is supposed to be up higher. Come with me, little friend. You're supposed to be up higher. Right? Isn't that what we had decided? Down a little. You need to come down a little. Okay. Oh, I can hear can you guys hear her? My old lady's coming upstairs. It takes her a long time to get up the stairs now because she's my old girl, but that's okay. Okay. Touch those there and pick up the whole thing. I don't have anything for you, baby. Oh, no, they already started drying. So now we just got to go with it. We just got to go with it. Okay. And put these down. I still have who said that? The Tombow Mono multi glue. I still have it on my desk somewhere. That is, I still very much use that for, oh, this, here, I didn't get any glue underneath this one. That is one of the things about putting them together this way, like that you do have to check um, to make sure that everything is like securely put down. Okay, so now we do these leaves. And Honeybee does have great glue. Plus it dries matte, which I love because as you can see, I frequently pull things up after the fact. Okay. And we're putting this one up here. I never got into The Sims. Oh, Emma's your daughter's name? Yeah. M&M is, who picked that? I think Eric picked it. Emma was Nathan's dog, but you know how dogs are. They pick they pick their people. You don't really get a say. So this goes down here, and this. Maybe it was a little bit like that. Is that how we had it? Hmm, trying to trying to see here. I think maybe if this came up here and this was here, well, our see, I got to make sure the sentiment still fits in. That's the thing. Okay. Maybe if I lower that, the sentiment will fit there now. Okay. All right. Yeah, check sentiment, please. So, because I am such a big fan of one layer cards and I started crafting well before they had any sort of stamp positioner. So it was just, me and my best shot, my my best shot at it. Um I frequently ruined cards with sentiments, or I would design cards and not leave room for a sentiment. So yeah, I don't all right, I don't like how much of this. Let me see. This bird's gonna go here. Yeah. So I know you guys are all gonna be aghast, the horror that is about to ensue right here because I'm not coloring anymore flowers. So we're going to back these up. We're going to put this here. Come back here. Okay. So that's a little bit fuller. Bring this guy up here. And what do we decide? This one down here? Just to kind of bring the whole thing together? Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. It's all hanging off the edge of the card anyway. So really, no, nobody's going to know. They're not going to know. Come on. There we go. I do got to make sure I get the little bits down though. All right, so we need to line this up so that this hides that cut line. Okay, come out here, little guy. Come on out. Okay. And then I'll put this guy here to kind of fill in that little area. And then sentiment, bird, bird. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So before we put our birds on, because I want to pop them up, we got to do some things to this background. Okay. First things first, we got to cut it. We got to trim these guys right off. Okay. These are the Spellbinders shears, which honestly might be the nicest pair of scissors I've ever owned. They're so good for the trimming. Okay. So now we have a nice even, and look, we didn't even use, guys, we didn't even use a flower set. Remember, we used the spring greenery. So we're making this, and we didn't even use a flower. Think of all the things you could do with the Lovely Layers flowers that you own. You know what I'm saying? They are hockey. Yes, hockey. They are so nice with their Teflon coating. I I would never have bought this. This is true because you guys know I keep it real around here. I would never have purchased them on their own, but they were part of a set, like a gift set thing that I bought at Christmas. And I'm just gonna, they're very nice. I bought the set because I wanted the guillotine trimmer. Um, but they are good. Oh, good, Susan. That makes me so happy that you're inspired to use your things. That does make me happy. Okay. So we're just gonna, here's the really nice thing about having the dies for this. If I stamp it and I don't like it and it goes to poo, then we'll just stamp it and die cut it and cover it up. Yeah, let's just double check these birds one last time. You know, the old measure twice, cut once adage, but with this, it's before you stamp. Okay, I think that should be good. Now I got to make sure this is, I'm looking, got to make sure it's straight because we can't stamp it crooked. I think we're good. Okay. There's that. There's that. I think I'm going to stamp it in a navy. I think I'm going to stamp it in a navy because I think that will be good. I don't have the Tim Holtz large scissors, Barbara. I cannot speak on those. But I will stamp it in navy if I can find it as you listen to me just move around all of the things. Um, I think the shears from Tim Holtz, I don't know if they're Teflon coated or not. Maybe somebody else knows. Where's the navy? Why are you fighting for me? Now you know you're one of the only, there it is. Let's say you know you're one of the only colors that I use. All right, so my navy is nautical from Hero Arts, but you use whatever navy you have. Okay. The time of singing birds has come. Hallelujah, spring. Never mind the fact that it snowed the last 3 days here in Cleveland. We're going to ignore that. Child, I think this is crooked. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be perfect? I'll have to see. Why does that say, why am I not getting that? I'm part of the birds. Spend some extra time there, Kelly. Better. Okay. Maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it. Let's see if it is actually crooked. I'm not 100% positive it isn't. I do live in Cleveland, yeah. Okay. I think it's okay. I can't spend too much time on it. Yeah, maybe the blue is messing with my eyes. That's a good point. All right. So now we're gonna put the birds here. We're gonna put the birds here. Here. Right? Okay. I don't even need that. Maybe I don't need it because they're pretty thick. I don't even think I need to pop them up on foam. I think they'll be popped up on their own. Yeah, I think we're okay to just glue them. Oh, no, I gotta do Lord have mercy, y'all. I'm forgetting all of my details because I'm just getting excited. So we're gonna do clear shimmer on our flowers, of course. And doo-doo-doo. Okay. And then we're gonna do some white gel. This is how we're gonna fix how heavy this looks. We're just gonna go in and do some white dots and kind of break it up. Everything looks better with glitter. I totally agree. I totally agree. And just the little dot, like you can see like how much more dimension the little white dots give it. And I know that it seems like it's such a small thing to take, like they're in the background and like why would I take the extra time to do it? But I think those little things are kind of what makes them pop, you know? Just something to consider the next time you're in the craft room making. Cake. You could even just do this. Look at like we could even just do this, just flowers. Change the sentiment though, because there's no birds. Okay. Now we can add the birds. Okay. Lisa, are you still here? I feel like when you're little and your girlfriends talk you into doing a Ouija board, that's how I feel. Lisa, are you in the room with us? Oh, oh Lord. Okay. Lisa is in fact in the room with us. Okay, last time Kelly picked the winner for the gift card. Um I can do it if you want me to, or you can do it. Just let me know. All right. So then we're going to put this bird down here, and I am going to give him a little bit of a shadow underneath his what? Where'd that green go? There it is. Okay. Give him that. Just, because he's hanging out on this leaf. So this leaf might be a hair darker than the rest. Okay. So he looks a little bit more grounded there. Okay. So that's that. I also, because I have no shame in my glitter game, I am going to add some glitter to my bird's wings as well because they look beautiful. Okay, there's that. And now, so you guys know that I love the pearl stickers and the gemstones. I do, like that has not changed. But actually, what I'm going to use today is this. The rainbow rhinestone mix is like one of my go-tos. Look, I actually, here, you're gonna laugh. I have two bags. I have one bag that is open and one bag that is waiting to be open because they go with everything. There is nothing they cannot win. Oh, wait, we announced a winner and I missed it. Hold on. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Got it. Congratulations. Think that we are still doing the email. So you're going to want to email customer care at honeybeestamps.com. That's where you're going to want to send your email for your winning. Congratulations. That's so exciting. And then they'll be able to get you your gift card. Okay. So anyway, you can see I love the rainbow ones. So we're going to dump some out here. And I use standalone dyes. It makes my paper slick, like, and shiny coloring on it. It's not good. It's like markers want to slide. Ink blending doesn't look good either. Any suggestions? What paper are you using, Mary? It sounds like a paper issue to me, so I would like to know what paper it is. Okay. Yeah, these go with everything. It's fantastic. Okay. Um, so now I'm just gonna shake these around and we're gonna do, don't be crazy, Glue. I just need a little bit. Just need a little. Don't be wild. Okay. One, two, and then we're gonna do, no, three down here. And then we'll do 1, 2, up here. Okay. 110 pound for Michaels. Okay. I cannot speak for Michaels. I don't know about if their paper is still the same, if it's still the same Reflections brand. I have not used it in years, but when I did use it, I did not care for it. It was too thin for the purposes that I needed. In order for alcohol markers to blend, they have to be able to blend in um, uh, the fibers of the paper. And so if you have a paper that is too thin or too thick, it can make it a little bit more challenging. Oop, I'm sorry, I did not mean to bump you. Um, so it might be your paper. I use Neenah 80-pound solar white cardstock. That's my preferred. It is a little bit pricier, but Sandy Allnack, Sandy Allnack, I sat next to her at a retreat, and she is the one who turned me on to the Neenah. Um, And I was like, girl, I don't need that. I'm using Walmart cardstock and it's fine. But then she showed me the difference between like the whites of the paper and how much nicer they blended on Neenah. And so then I switched. I buy mine in gigantic reams on Amazon. That's the cheapest way that I have found to do it. And that works. That's what works for me. Okay, I'm just going to clean up that little so it's not in the background. And this is it. This is our whole card. I think that she's a beauty. I think she came out really nicely. So, yeah. So of course, please let me know in the comments underneath the group. I'm going to bring me back on here so you can see me. Here I am. I'm still fuzzy. Let's see if we can fix it. I'm less fuzzy now. That's good news. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're still using the Walmart cardstock. Yeah, that's I use that for years. Like use whatever will work for you and that you can afford. Okay. So I would like to know, obviously, if there's any other ones. I know that we're going to do the iris next because that was one of the ones that you guys requested. So more purple in our future. And if there's any other things that you're like, hey, I'd really be interested, even if it's a technique or a product, please, let me know what it is that you would like to see, and I will try to work it in. And I will see you guys. Well, you won't see me, but you will see my video on Monday night, and I will try my best to be chatting. I do think they look like lace cap hydrangeas. That's what they look like to me. I'm very happy with them. And we've got this really nice kind of analogous color going on. We've got the green, the blue, and the purple. They're all next to each other. Do you have the large dog dies? I do have the large dog dies, and I also have large dogs. So that is definitely one that we can work in for sure. Um, so yeah, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I genuinely appreciate your time. I know that it is your most precious commodity, and I am very appreciative that you're willing to spend it with me. And I will see you guys next Wednesday at 1. If you have questions for me in the meantime, the Facebook group here, if in the comments, I will be checking, the comments on the replay and stuff like that. So yeah, so I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. I'll figure out how to end this live stream. I can do it. I can do technology maybe. All right. Okay. You guys have a nice rest of your day. Thank you so much.